Hi, everybody. Just making sure everybody found their way in. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga today. Again, this is Rebecca, and we're going to be going through a 30-minute yoga flow. So we are also going to have, you can see my setup here, chair options throughout class. So if you're joining us from a chair, just make sure that it's on a surface where it's not going to move around. And if it has wheels, you're going to want to make sure those are locked. Otherwise, you're going to want your yoga mat, maybe some kind of a cushion to sit on if you would like. And of course, today especially, make sure that you have your water bottle handy. So if it's not nearby, please go and grab your water bottle, fill it up real quick. Getting some chat messages. Hi, everybody. Because I am going to be reminding you to take some drinks of water throughout class today. Okay, so I see a couple people have left. I'm going to give them just a minute to get back with their nice full water bottle. I'm going to set mine down by my yoga mat. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is go into an easy seated position. So we're just going to sit down on our mat or on our cushion on our mat or in our chair and find a nice comfortable seated position. So I like to sit cross-legged. All right, looks like we're getting set up. Everyone's got their water. For those just coming back with your water, please make sure that you just go ahead and find a nice comfortable seat on your mat. You might sit crisscross legs, or you might be sitting in your chair. And you can bring your hands down to rest on your legs, or if you would like, bring them to your belly if you would like to feel your breath. And we're just going to start. I like to start by checking in with our breath. And you don't have to change anything about your breath. You're just noticing where your breath is. Maybe you've had kind of a busy day. Maybe you had a lot to do today and you've been running around. So maybe your breath is a little kind of quick and hurried. And once you check in with yourself and you kind of notice where you are, then begin to deepen your breath. And if it's comfortable, you might start to breathe in and out only through your nose, taking those deep breaths in through the nose and back out through the nose. Let's take a couple more just like that. Deep breath in and let it out. Deep breath in and let it out. If your hands are at your belly, go ahead and just let them relax down. Wherever they land is great. And as we come to the end of our second week of our Partner Up Power Up, we're going to make sure that we stay hydrated, because it's important to make sure that we're nourishing our bodies both physically with water and exercise, and then, mentally and emotionally being kind to ourselves and making sure that we're being kind to our bodies in all kinds of different ways. And I'd like to start class with a quote today. And I don't have a source for this, but I'm sure it's one that you've heard before. So our quote is, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." So with that in mind, let's start by grabbing a drink of our waters. Oh, my water spilled on me. And during our yoga class today, we're going to focus on flowing like water. We're going to move nice and slow, and we're also going to let our thoughts and feelings and anything that comes up flow through our mind like water as well, like a river running through. Oops, I lost my gallery view here. So go ahead and stay in our easy seated position. And begin by letting your head hang over to one side. So as though your ear is just resting towards your shoulder, you're not forcing it, you're really just letting gravity pull your ear towards your shoulder. Really, really gentle. Feel a nice stretch along the outside of your neck. And then start to tilt your head forward like you're pointing your nose towards the floor. Really, really slow. And then other ear to your other shoulder. So we're on the opposite side now, just letting our ear hang towards our shoulder. Again, feeling a nice stretch along the outside of our neck. And come back through center, pointing the nose toward the floor. And then up on the other side, ear hanging towards the shoulder. And one more time back through center, over to the other side. Really nice and gentle. And then we'll come back through center just to bring our head back up. Perfect. And now bring your hands to heart center and keeping your fingers and your palms nicely pressed together, just slide your hands over to one side, like they're coming towards your armpit on one side. You're gonna feel a nice stretch kind of in the back of your arm up here where your shoulder, where your elbow is. And then move it back through center and over to the other side. Great. And then back through center again, over to the first side. And back through center, over to the other side. All right, back through center. We're gonna start to flow with our breath. So take a deep breath in, sweep your arms out and up. And then on your exhale, let one hand fall down to the ground, fingertips come to the floor, and you're just gonna let your breath out as you stretch your side body nice and open. And then breathe back in, both hands up. And exhale, come to the other side. Nice side stretch as you reach up and over your body. Let's do that one more time. So take a deep breath in, both hands up. And let it out, side stretch. Perfect, deep breath in, both arms up. And let it out, other side, side stretch. All right, come back up through center and relax the hands down. If you are seated on your mat, go ahead and switch the cross of your legs really quick so we get nice and even. So one of our poses in our booklet this week was the yoga mudra arms. And so we're gonna work on that, but there's a few different ways that we can do this. So we're going to sweep our arms out and up, and then let your arms come back behind you. You guys can stay seated. I'm just standing up so you can see. And then bend your elbows. And you can either grab your hands or you can grab your forearms, or if it feels okay, you can grab all the way to your elbows, only if that feels good to you. I'm gonna stick with my forearms today because that's what feels good to me. And we're just gonna flow up and down a little bit. So up, and then down, keeping our yoga mudra arms behind us. Can you take a deep breath in as you come up, and then as you exhale, fold down. And again, deep breath in. And exhale, folding down. And inhale back up. Slowly and gently let go of your arms wherever you happen to grab them. And on your inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, hands to heart center again. Inhale, arms back up, keeping the palms and the fingers pressed together. And this time I'm gonna stand up again so you can see me. Just bend your elbows and let your hands come behind you. You might hang your neck forward like we did when we did our neck stretch. And just feel a nice stretch going on in the back of your arms. Perfect, deep breath in, come back up. And exhale, Let the hands come back down. And let's do some seated cat-cows. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. And again, flowing with our breath. So on our inhale, we're going to lift our heart and start to look up. And when we exhale, we're going to round our back and push our shoulders forward. You might let your head hang down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, open the heart, look up. And exhale, round the back, let your head hang down. And again, inhale, shoulders back, open your heart. And exhale, round the spine, head hangs down. Perfect. And now we're going to come to, well, one more thing on our feet actually. I'm going to move my pillow and put my feet straight out. We're just going to do some ankle rolls. So with your feet straight out in front of you, start to roll your ankles out either direction. You can add your hands if you would like. And then switch directions. And then we're going to start to wake up our legs. So we're going to make little circles. I'm going to pretend like I'm drawing a circle in the air with my foot. So I'm going to lift my right leg and make 3 circles over to the left. And then make 3 circles over to the right. Perfect. Now on my other leg, 3 circles over to the left. And 3 circles over to the right. As long as you circle your legs and get those warmed up, don't worry about which side is which. And from here, if you're joining us from a chair, we're gonna come right back to meet you. But if you were on your mat, go ahead and move into your tabletop position. We're gonna get ready to come to standing. So your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are right under your hips, and your back is flat like a table. And if you would like, you can take one cat-cow here. So on your cow pose, you're gonna lower your belly and lift your heart. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, round your spine, push the floor away, let the head hang. And then back to neutral. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips, and we're gonna come into our downward dog. You might bend your knees a little bit in this pose. This is a nice upside down V pose. Your feet are about distance of your hips. And when you're ready, start to walk your feet, up behind your hands with a little bit of a bend to your knee. It'll make it easier. And then tuck your chin and slowly start to roll up to standing. Great job, everybody. And we'll meet in our mountain pose. So with your feet right under your hips and your hands gently resting out to the sides, nice and strong in our mountain pose, standing up really tall. And from here, go ahead and step your legs wide. So again, if you are joining us from a chair, it's all gonna look very much the same. You're just gonna be resting your sit bones on the chair. So from our legs in our star pose formation here, we are going to start to bend one knee and then bend the other knee. And just kind of get your balance here. Your toes should be pointed a little bit out. Will help you. And if that feels super steady, you can bring your hands to heart center. If you're feeling wobbly at all, you might want to bring your hands down and let them rest on your thighs, because we're gonna start to flow with our breath. So take a deep breath in and exhale, bend one knee as much as it feels comfortable. Nice and slow, deep breath in and breathe out, bend the other knee. So you wanna go nice and slow, deep breath in, breathe out, bend your knee. Pretend like you're moving through water. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's do one more time, each side. Deep breath in through the center, Deep breath out. You might even lift the toes if you're feeling super balanced. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Back through center, pause in the middle here. You can straighten your legs. We want to keep a nice bend to the knees though, just a little bit. We don't want to lock the knees out, right? So from here, we're going to turn our toes one direction. Okay, so either direction, it doesn't really matter, but I have my front toes are pointed forward and my back toes are pointed a little bit in, if you can see my setup on the mat here. And then start to bend your front knee, just enough so that it's right over your ankle. So look down and check that your knee is right over your ankle. That's where it's gonna feel really good. And make any adjustments that you need here. If you're in a chair, if you are in the chair, excuse me, your sit bone and your thigh are just gonna be resting on the chair, but your feet are gonna look like this. So coming this way and then bringing our arms out to the side, finding a nice strong warrior two, and then take your front hand and place it gently on your front thigh. And then let your back hand come down in front of you. And then reach out forward. And then up to the sky. And then it points back. And we're gonna do two more really big circles. And if you wanna add the breath, you can deep breath in as your arm comes up. And deep breath out as your arm swoops down. And again, deep breath in. And deep breath out. And then go ahead and straighten that leg. Come back through center and turn your toes to the other side. Really great job, everyone. And so finding the setup that works for you on this side might feel different and that's okay. Go ahead and bend your knee so that it's right over your ankle. And again, just checking on that and making sure that's comfortable. All right. And then bringing the hands out to the side for our super strong warrior two, just briefly. And then take your front hand, let it rest on your front thigh, and let this back hand come swooping down underneath you, and then reach forward, reach up, and reach back. And let's do it again. Reach down, reach forward, up, and back, keeping those nice deep breaths. Again, down, forward, up, and back. And then straightening that leg and coming back through center. We're gonna bend both of our knees now. So we're back in the middle, our toes are pointed slightly out. If you bend both your knees, if they're starting to come in at all, you may just need to bring your legs closer together. You want your knees to be pretty close to over your feet for this pose. And if you're feeling really balanced, hands at heart center. If you feel like you need a little bit of extra balance, keep your hands down and hold onto your thighs or whatever else you need, okay? So we're gonna deep breath in and let it go. Bend both knees as far down as you would like to go. Deep breath in. And bend the knees. Deep breath in. And bend the knees. Deep breath in. Bend the knees, pause here. If your hands aren't already on your thighs, go ahead and rest them on your thighs. And we're gonna dip our shoulders a few times. So dip one shoulder down, finding a nice twist in the upper back. Back through center, deep breath in and let it out, twist. Slow breaths, deep breath in, twist, let it out. I know those thighs are working hard. And deep breath in, twist, let it out. One more time each side, deep breath in, twist, deep breath in, and twist. And come back up through center, straighten those legs. From here, you can keep your hands out in front of you. We're going to dive into a nice forward fold. Pretend like you are diving into water, going super slow. If you would like, if you're feeling very, very balanced, you can take your mudra arms behind you. So that's hands, forearms, or elbows. Only if that feels good. Otherwise, your hands can be out in front or they can be at your hips. And we're gonna take a deep breath in. And then we're gonna fold and we're gonna hang here for a few breaths. If you're feeling unbalanced at all, gently let go of your hands and let them come down. And then if your hands are behind your back, go ahead and let them come down anyway. And then tuck your chin to your chest and let yourself roll slowly back up to standing. And then reach one hand out, grab your water, and take a quick drink of water, making sure we stay really hydrated. And once you've had your drink of water, step your feet back together. We're gonna meet back in our mountain pose. And we're gonna do a little bit of balancing work. So if you need something nearby to help steady you, please make sure that you're near that object. So it might be a really steady chair or a table that's not gonna move if you push on it, or you might just come near a wall, because we are gonna be balancing on one foot. So if you do need something, please grab it now. And if not, go ahead and bring your hands to your hips and slowly lift one knee up. And then bring it out to the side and set it down. We're gonna do that again. So up, out, and down, up, out, and down. And now we're gonna go the other way. So we're gonna go out, center, down, same leg, out, center, down, out, center, down. This is really challenging work. I sometimes fall over this. Out, center, down, out, center, down, other side. If you fall over, don't worry about it. Send yourself some kindness. We all fall over sometimes. So on our other side, up, out, down, up, out, down. Great job. Up, out, down. Other way. So we're gonna go out, center, down, out, center, down, out, center, down. Okay. And now come back to that first leg and just bend that knee so that the ball of your foot is on the floor. And then hop that foot over. So it might be easier if I cue right and left. So bend your right foot, bend your right knee, excuse me. Jumbled in my words today. And hop it over your left foot. And then inhale both your arms up. And exhale, give yourself with the right arm on top a really big hug. And you can stay here, or you can find a slight bend in both of your knees. And then it's gonna look like this. I'll turn to the side. So one knee is kind of gonna push into the other knee, just ever so slight bend. And we're just gonna hold this for a few breaths. This is one way of doing eagle pose. Great job. One more deep breath in. And exhale, let it out. Start to straighten the legs. Inhale the arms up. And set them down. Let's come through the other side. So your other side, so for me, that's my left foot. Come up onto the ball of your left foot. And then just hop that foot over your right foot. Deep breath in, both hands up. And then with your left hand on top, give yourself another big hug. And then start to bend those knees just a little bit. Really great work, everybody. Again, this is a variation of eagle pose. This is a really challenging balancing pose. I'm going to take a couple more nice deep breaths here. One more deep breath in. And let it out. Inhale the arms up. And exhale. Go ahead and shake the legs out, shake the arms out. Working really hard here. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me here. We're going to do another forward fold, this time with our feet pretty close together. And we're going to come to seated. So if you're in a chair, you can follow along with your arms and we'll meet you in a seated position shortly. So inhale the hands up. And exhale, pretend you are diving super, super slowly forward. And then you're just gonna let your body relax as like you're folded in half. So your hands might come down to the ground. They might be on your ankles or your shins. And then start to bend both of your knees, letting the hands come down to the ground. So the sit bones are almost on the ground. And then bring your hands behind you. Let your sit bones come down to the ground. And let your legs come out straight. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. And you might grab your thighs, your shins, your feet, whatever is available to you today. And we're just gonna let the top half of our body kind of melt down into the bottom half just for a few breaths here. And then coming back up slowly. Go ahead and come back into your easy seated position. If you like to sit on your cushion, you can grab that as well. And from here, we're going to bring the hands back to heart center. And then let them come over to one side, just like we did in the beginning of class. Back through center, over to the other side. And do this some more on your own, really nice and slow. And notice that even though we're doing the exact same thing we did in the beginning of class, it might feel a little bit different. We'll just do it a couple more times. And even though we're doing the same thing, or you could say stepping into the same river, time has passed, and therefore the experience is going to be different. So taking a moment to really embrace that. And again, deep breath in with both arms up, palms pressed together, and stretching the back of the arms, letting those hands come back behind the neck. You can let the neck hang down. And then bringing the hands back up and relaxing them down. Reach over and take another drink of water, if you would. Come back with your legs pointed out, but we're going to bring our feet to the ground. Bring them about the distance of your mat. You can do this from your chair or from sitting down, if you can see me okay. So I have my feet a couple feet apart. And my hands are behind me for support. And I'm just going to let my knees hang over to one side. I'm just resting here for a minute. And then back through center, letting my knees hang over to the other side. Feeling a little bit of a twist in the spine here. And then back up through center. And start to set yourself up for your final relaxation pose. And I'm gonna lead you through a guided visualization for a few minutes. So make yourself really nice and comfortable. If you're on your mat, that might mean stretching your legs out. And then letting yourself sort of melt downward until your head is on the ground. Your arms might come out to either side, or they might rest on the belly if you prefer. And if you're in your chair, leaning back or maybe forward onto a pillow, and just really finding some stillness. And you might choose to close your eyes, or you might keep a light gaze towards whatever is in front of you. Maybe it's the ceiling or somewhere on your desk. And as if you're falling asleep, let go of all thoughts and just feel your breath. As you feel your body breathing, be curious and pay attention to what is happening inside of you. Allow yourself to relax even more, letting your torso lengthen as your breath becomes slow and full. And instead of trying to control the breath here, see if you can simply observe it. Just watch it flowing in and out. Great. Now imagine that each inhale brings new energy and life force. And each exhale releases what is no longer needed or useful. You may imagine breathing in light or breathing in love. And breathing out fear or frustration. Like waves of water at the shore, your breath is always moving, coming and going, just like this. Let's take a few more breaths here, letting breath and life flow through you. I'll count down our deep breaths. So deep breath in, that's 3. Deep breath in, that's 2. And deep breath in, that's 1. And slowly bring your attention back to the room. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You might take any final stretches that feel good to you on your back or on your side. Maybe reaching your hands above your head, maybe pointing your toes. And when you're ready, finding your way back to a comfortable seated position. So you might roll over onto one side and slowly push yourself up. You may just kind of roll up to seated. Great job, everybody. And then together, let's take one more deep breath in. Sweep the arms up above the head. Hands together. And let it out, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me today. I hope that you take this feeling of letting life move through you like a river into the next week with you. And remember to stay hydrated. Namaste.